Alright, so this is a quick review I want to do. So you might ask, what's in the bag? I actually got this a few months ago. It's a clone of a Pegasus, and there's been a lot of talk about the Pegasus clones lately. So it wasn't until I don't know, recently, I'd say last 3 4 weeks, that I really started to like this thing. Um, I saw a video the other day comparing like three different one of the originals and two different clones, and the one they were saying was shit was one that really resembled this one actually. And I'll go over that in a minute. And you might see or not see any Pegasus logo on there. There's like barely here. I don't think you can even see it in this light. It's really hard to see no matter what. There was the Pegasus written in Greek alphabet here, and it's totally gone. Almost totally gone. It's barely there. Super faint. At the right angle, I can see it. Even at the bottom, you can barely see it. I don't think you can even see it on this camera. All the laser engravings went away really fast, which I don't mind at all, to be honest, because I plan to force patina this soon. So yeah, there's the original and this clone. They're easy ones to tell apart. It's a very light inscription, just like a laser print, I guess. I don't know. Within like a day of having this and just putting it in my pocket a couple times, the finish was already getting scratched off. I could literally just take my fingernail and get rid of it. It started all come off. Now it's all like kind of uniform, which doesn't look too bad. It's a little dirty, but like I said, I'm going to patina it. So I mean, if you really like the design on it, it's not lasting. There's the other clone going around, and actually there's I think there's more than just these few. There's so many, it's hard to tell, where it's engraved a lot deeper. I've heard complaints about that it's deeper, it lasts longer, but it's done kind of shitty on some of them where it's not even straight, and who knows. But that's just aesthetics. When I first got this thing, I hated it. I was ready to throw it out the window. From the start, the battery the switch felt really wobbly and loose, and it kept coming unscrewed. I'm driving. It's a magnetic switch too, and I'm driving, and the whole thing falls apart, and I just hear the magnets fall, and I'm like, oh shit! I was ready to throw it out the window. Luckily, the magnets fell and hit my keys on the steering column and just stuck to that, so I was able to recover it. And I put it together. I was even like with a flat top, like a Sony VTC. There's always battery rattle with most of my RDAs. Some would fit in a little deeper, so it didn't have the problem. Some wouldn't even fire. With a nipple top battery, like a IMR, it worked a bit better. But I barely use those batteries. The voltage is too low. The amps are too low. So yeah, I wasn't really happy with this, and I was messing around with. I'm not going to take apart the whole button assembly because the magnets are kind of a pain in the ass to get back in. But if we look a little closer, you see it's all copper design, which is cool, and there's like a big screw there that connects to the button. And for me to get rid of the battery rattle, I kept unscrewing it more to make it longer, and then it's all wobbly and it was really annoying. That's one of the reasons I just barely use it. I took it with me. I was in Greece for like 6 weeks, and I took it with me just to have as a backup because I have my Meraxis, and it's a good thing I did bring it back up. One night, the engineer dropped me off late back to the flat we're renting, and I left this in the back seat of his car, so luckily I had the backup. And this is, I mean, I've been using this Meraxis for quite a while. Also a clone, but it works pretty good. The threads on this are good. I mean, it's kind of hard to get a grip on the top cap, so sometimes it's hard to get off, but usually it's not a problem. Threads are smooth, and top cap also has a screw, which, yeah, it took me a while to kind of just figure it out. The whole screw pulls out, and then there's like a kind of like a rivet that's around it. So I don't know, I just started messing around with it one day and got it set up like to work normally, no battery rattle, and it was firing every time. So once it's set up, I have no problems with it actually. It works really nice. I think maybe the guy gave it a bad review. Maybe it's a totally different clone, or it was he just didn't fuck around with it enough to get it working right. I do admit if I have to change RDAs on this, it all kind of, you know, it's going to change the setting of the pin here that unscrews, and I have to mess with that for it to fit. But right now I'm using the same RDA, so it's not a big deal, and it's set up for it. So basically what I did is I put the screw on the switch in as far as I could, even got like a knife or a screwdriver and just tightened it, got it really snug so it's not coming loose anymore. And let's go ahead and throw this together. This one also has a reverse locking thread, reverse threaded. So unlock it, you gotta, it's like you're loosening it. And actually what's nice, the magnets are strong enough, even with a heavy RDA on top, if I set it down, it doesn't fire, just from the weight of it, you know. So if I put it in my pocket, then I'll use the locking thread, but that's about it. So I'm going to throw a VTC4 in here, Sony battery. And what I had to do to get it to fit, because especially with the flat top batteries, so there's no battery rattle and like make even just contact a fire, was just I took that screw out and unscrewed it enough, you know, to protrude a little bit more from the round sleeve it's in. I'm going to take it another turn more. Put it back. There's like a, I don't know, nylon or Delrin sleeve. And throw it back together. And I gotta say, this thing works really, really nice. Right now there's battery rattle because the atomizer's not in. And I just got this in yesterday. I'll do another video on this. It's a Plume Veil clone, and it's a copper one, copper version. So I just built this yesterday. I'm trying to remember what it was. Let me check real quick. This is at 0.39 ohms, 0.39. And I gotta say, this atomizer, I unscrewed that bolt a little bit, so now we have it. You can maybe see there's a bit of a gap. I can stick my thumbnail in there. So take the top cap off. And I'm just going to turn that screw in a little bit, like another full turn maybe you should do it. So that's what I was talking about. If you change atomizers, you got to do this back and forth a couple times. Now it's a nice snug fit, I think. Let's make sure it's not dry. And yeah, I mean, the RDA is awesome, I gotta say. This is one of the best ones I've gotten so far. But it's working the best on this mod, I have to say. Yep. Like I said, no problems with the button. It supports its own weight. It's a comfortable mod. It has a nice look. Once I put the patina on it, it's going to look killer. Yeah, after I fucked around with it enough, I started hating it. I was, like I said, ready to just throw it out the window. And now it's my favorite one, now that I got it just tuned in right, basically. I don't have a way to measure the voltage drop, but I can tell a difference between this and the Meraxis. Meraxis also has a spring button that could have to do with it, and you know, this is copper. But just to show you real quick, I'm going to take this plume veil off without doing any adjustments. And now I'm going to put my still air clone on it. Alright, so this one, even on my Meraxis, there's no way to fix that actually. When I put the still air clone on it, there's a small gap between the top of the mod. Here I've got quite a good sized gap. It's all aesthetic. It's not stopping it from working at all. It still works fine. And I mean, I need to add some juice to this, but just as comparison, and just to be fair, I'm going to pop a fresh recharge VTC back in this Meraxis. And I'll show you the comparison of just between these two mods. So there we have it on the Pegasus clone. And now let's give it a try on the Meraxis. And like I said, this Meraxis has, like, I guess it's like a spring-loaded floating pin, and that's as far as I can get it in. Has nothing to do with how tight the battery tube is either. So there's a good sized gap on this. Still looks pretty good. If the stiller looks nice on this Meraxis. Works good on both, but it's working better. I can definitely tell the difference with the Pegasus. This is actually my mod of choice right now. This paired with the Plume Veil, you really can't go wrong. Hold on a second here. Let me just adjust this because there's so much adjustable airflow in this thing, but it really does make a world of difference, it seems like, because it works great. That's it. That's this cheap Meraxis mod, or no, Pegasus mod. I got mine off of eBay for like 20. It was under 25, I believe, 25 tops. Now I'm seeing like a lot of different ones on Fast Tech. I don't like to order from them, to be honest. It just takes too long. I'm going to try out the other one. I can't remember who makes it, VTech or something like that. It's another clone. That's the one with the deep engravings, because I wouldn't mind having a backup of one of these. And since I'm getting into doing the patina, I'm probably going to start collecting a lot of copper mods and brass mods. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.